into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through for you.
Good morning everybody and welcome to the latest virtual Elite FPL podcast, or show shall I say, the breakfast show with myself Stevo. Well, of course we will be covering all things Gameweek 20 tonight. It'll be the usual setup. I'll be going through my predictions of the game, telling you my thoughts on potential transfers that I'm doing. Of course, for a man Dylan, best captaincy option based on real life fantasy Premier League returns. And boy oh boy, have we got a big day for you virtual Elite FPL fans, because not only have you got myself doing the preview show now and anybody for watching on the replay, you've then got myself and Jason back live tonight, where we will be covering the games again, just like you can see up on screen here. That's right, myself and Jason for this week only will be covering the games live. So we obviously had Sunday evening where we were treated to this. Now, for anybody that didn't watch the show on Sunday, which I'd be surprised if there wasn't anybody, but anyway, you would have missed out on this particular moment here where, of course, Jason had Bolly as his only player in the game versus Leicester, and this is how it turned out. Absolutely hilarious, not gonna laugh. We all had a laugh here we are.
Come on, Bolly. Bolly starts. I'm hoping for a clean sheet for Wolves. Oh, it's a goal! No! Bolly's still playing, he can still do something.
Vardy is open, there's a goal!
It's a goal, Sir Jamie Vardy.
It was Vardy again, and midweek injury, and Bolly's out for 5 weeks.
Come on, Bolly.
Absolutely genius. That is what I miss about covering live matches, is literally the reaction to what me and Jason can provide. Just unpredictability in virtual FPL. It's a laugh. You just don't know what's going to go on, and the fact that, you know, Jason kept going on and on about Bolly, and then all of a sudden, just like that, he goes and gets himself injured. You can't make it up. And yeah, now Jason's got a bit dull. I mean, I know he's got 2 free transfers. I wonder if Bolly will be one of them. I doubt it, but you never know. I've certainly got a few transfers that I'm thinking of doing for tonight. Could I take a -4? I don't know, but there is certainly one game that stands out for myself tonight. We all know what that's going to be. But let's just, as I always say, let's just crack on with this. You know how in the summer last year, how it was almost like me and Jason were, well, certainly me, was trying to break the record for the longest stream possible in the mornings for you Southern Hemisphere fans, or even the evening ones. We were trying to beat like the records for how long we're going to go on for. Well, these specific shows, I'm trying to do them as quick as possible, because I just, preview shows I always find are pretty boring anyway, so I just want to get on with it. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly give you predictions for all the games that are happening. Like I said, I'm pretty proud of how my predictions go. And yeah, I'll give you what I think are the 4 best captaincies for this week. In fact, I'll tell you now, I'm thinking it's going to be, best captaincy wise, is either going to be Abraham, Mane, Salah or Son. I think they're the top 4 choices. And I'll then give you their real life history as to what they did this season that's just gone, so to speak, this year. So anyway, let's just get on with it. We open up the map. Again, I'm a bit... It's very, very, very frustrating that we're opening up the first 5-6 matches are with the top teams. In fact, the first 5 contain the best teams in the actual game. I think it should be the other way around. I think we should be starting with Southampton, Crystal Palace, not finishing with it. Burnley, Bournemouth, who cares? Everton, Aston Villa, Brighton, Arsenal, just terrible, terrible games. And they're like the last games of the particular fixtures. So it's a bit disappointing that's the case. But we're going to start off with what I think is going to be, again, another high-scoring game. Norwich. If anybody's playing them, you've just got to flame and get players in for the team that's playing them, specifically if you are at home, and Chelsea are at home. Abraham is certainly on my potentials to bring in, and you'll understand why in a minute. But it's Chelsea versus Norwich, and I think, as ever, Chelsea are going to comfortably win this, and I'm going to go 4-1. Like I said, this game rarely contains clean sheets, although I am expecting there's going to be 3 clean sheets in today's fixtures, surprisingly for one of the teams, but we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, Chelsea 4, Norwich 1. Then it's Wolves versus Man City. This is going to be a very, very tight game, but I think it's going to be an open game. But I think the scoreline is going to just cancel themselves out, and I think this is going to end 2-2. Of course, Man City coming off the back of a terrible result against Newcastle, losing 2-1. Just ridiculous. Of course, it was the first captaincy fail for me this season, well, not this season, but over the time that I've been playing virtual FPL. So yeah, I'm going to go 2-2 for Wolves and Man City. Man United, Leicester, once again, I think this is going to be a tight game, and I'm going to go 2-1 to United. Watford, Sheffield United, terrible game. I think it's going to be very, very boring, and I'm going to go 1-1. Liverpool, West Ham. This is the big one. And I think it's going to be another big scoreline for Liverpool. Could it be 3? Could it be 4? Could it be 5? Could it be even 7 like they did the other day? I've gone with a safety of 4-0. Because that's even pretty much the average score it is in real life, 4-0. Spurs versus Newcastle. Again, I think this is going to be a comfortable victory for Spurs. Newcastle are terrible away from home. They're decent at home. Proven record versus Man City versus Liverpool. Away from home, though, not so good. I think they're going to be brought down to earth here, and I've got it down as 3-0. 3-0 to Tottenham. Everton, Aston Villa. I think this is again going to be a nice, high-scoring game for Everton. But I think this is going to be going to contain 4 goals in it, but I'm going to give 3 of them to Everton and 1 of them to Aston Villa. I was tossing and turning between 3-1 or 3-2. But I'm going to give Everton, off the back of 2 clean sheets, I think Aston Villa will breach them, and I'm going to go 3-1 to Everton. Brighton, Arsenal, this is going to be an absolute shocker of a game, and I'm going to go Arsenal just being absolutely terrible of late, but I think they're going to bounce back against Brighton, and I'm going to give them a clean sheet. So Bilal, if you're watching this, Bilal, Leno will probably pay off in this game, and I'm going to go 2-0 to Arsenal. Burnley, Bournemouth. This is going to be... Burnley are in some decent form at the moment. They only lost 1-0 to United. Bournemouth, after having a few good results, have started to tail off again. I was thinking 1-1, 2-1 either way. I've gone with my team, Burnley. I've gone 2-1 to Burnley, but it wouldn't surprise me if Bournemouth edged this 2-1 either. And finally, Southampton versus Crystal Palace. We all know Crystal Palace are terrible away from home. Southampton are decent. Danny Ings owners, like myself, I think he'll get his standard goal as per normal. I think this could be a high-scoring game, though. Wouldn't surprise me again if Zaha gets on the score sheet. And I'm going to go Southampton 3, Crystal Palace 2. So despite the fact that I've said that I think it's going to be pretty meh towards the end of the game week tonight, I think there's a few high-scoring games, but yeah, a bit disappointing. Moving on to what I'm thinking could happen for myself regarding transfers. I'm looking at this. It's either to do a -4. Aguero's gone for me. He is... I'm getting him gone. I think it's just waste of... Right, let me just clarify this. I think that with the strikers that are in form at the moment, they're getting exactly the same returns as your big hitters like Aubameyang and Aguero. So I think that downgrading Aguero to Abraham, Ings, Jimenez, Jota, even players like Pukki or whatever, depending on what their fixtures are like. But I'm certainly going to get rid of Aguero. The question is, do I want to bring in Mane? Or do I want to bring in SANE? Mane or SANE? That is the question. I'm even considering getting rid of De Bruyne. There's a very high chance I'll get rid of him because at the moment of late, again, terrible returns as of late. Not to the standards of what's required for me anyway, specifically in the games that he's been playing in. So I'm not going to confirm these transfers. I don't confirm any of this until later on. I don't do officially any of this until later because I'm not going to bore you with how I decide or go through my actual looking through the specific player data, etc., etc. But if I was to bring in SANE, I've then got 13.6 to play with. The question is, do I bring in... I don't want to keep going on about it. Do I bring in Mane for tonight's game? Because I just think that Mane and Salah, they're just so consistent with their returns that you just cannot... You cannot get them gone. So I'm wondering if... Get rid of Neto... Bring in Mane. I'm wondering how much that leaves me with 6. It only leaves me with 6.2, and I was toggling around with this earlier. Calvert-Lewin is 0.2 more expensive. He's 6.4. If I could have gotten Calvert-Lewin at 6.4, I would have done it. So Mane is completely out the question there. Let's put Neto back in. So the question is, do I just go with Abraham? I think the simple answer is yes. Where am I going? Abraham for tonight's games. I did mention there's a pattern forming for Abraham. 2 assists followed by 2 goals followed by 2 assists. We all know what happened on Sunday evening. He got his goals. Ironically, 2 goals. So he'll probably blank in this game. But it's up against Norwich. I was even thinking of potentially doing a -4 to get in Willian or something like that. I mean, as you can see here. I mean, in theory, I could still have De Bruyne. And I could have that team as well. So the team up on screen at the moment is Abraham and SANE in for Neto and Aguero, which leaves me with De Bruyne still in the team as well. Or I do a -4, keep Neto, get rid of Peters, and bring in Trent Alexander-Arnold. So there we are there. That leaves me with 2.5 in the bank. So then I would have a perma defence of Alonso, Trent, and one of Egan, Ward or Lascelles. My midfield would be Salah, Pulisic, Fernandes, Sane, Neto, and then up front, Abraham and Greenwood. Now, admittedly, I'll probably go with the free transfers just to have Abraham in for tonight's games, because after that, Chelsea's fixtures, Man City, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Tottenham, Man U, Everton, they're horrid. They're absolutely horrible. They've come to the end of their run now. I think jumping off, for me, Chelsea assets, probably a wise decision. But we all know how virtual FPL's working at the moment. It does appear that these players that are in form at the moment, Pulisic, Willian, I mean, could you say Abraham? Well, he's the assist machine, as I keep calling him at the moment. Could it be wise to jump onto Arsenal again? 3 good fixtures, Brighton, Watford, Burnley. Forget Liverpool and then Aston Villa, Leicester, Newcastle. I mean, they're very, very tempting as well. The key is Man City. I mean, their fixtures are awful they're awful from tonight. Wolves, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man U, Everton. I know it's Man City, but horrid. But look at Liverpool. I think potentially that could be the way I go. A -4. I mean, I'd have 7.5 in the bank for another midfielder if I really wanted to, whoever that would be. I mean, that isn't going to be happening, but yeah, all options there. It's certainly something I'm going to look into. And absolutely, I think that for me, getting rid of Kevin De Bruyne, I think it's a must. I think Sane's in so much form at the moment that he's just completely dominating anything that Kevin De Bruyne does. Well then, everybody, that's the end of the preview show. I do appreciate everybody joining in live. Thank you all. I wonder if the main man's here. Gabriel De Rop. Our man Dylan making the point here that Calvert-Lewin versus Aston Villa. Absolutely. Shanak asking whether Ward-Prowse is a decent pick for the next few weeks. Let's just quickly look at their fixtures. We've got Crystal Palace, Brighton, Watford, Burnley. How much is Ward-Prowse? Let's just find out. I'm going to guess about 5.8, 5.9, maybe like 6 in the 6s. Let's just quickly see how much Ward-Prowse is. He's 5.7. Well, the answer to that then is yes. He's the assist machine. He's another one. Just seems to be getting attack and returns consistently at the moment. Yeah. Well, in fact, I may copy her. Get rid of Neto and bring in Ward-Prowse. Thank you for the idea there, Shanak. Thank you very much. Because I do find this game does seem to run on any fixtures that are green. You are going to get a decent scoreline. And Gabriel De Rop, number 1, is here. The main man is here. Number 1 in the Gameweek 11 Mini League. Grekler, good morning. Nick Reed's here. Morning, man. Grekler, Jota instead of Calvert-Lewin. No. Those fixtures are horrid. Man City, Crystal Palace, Chelsea, Tottenham, Man U. I'd be getting off Wolves now. I think they've had their good spell. It's really a question of jumping on these. I mean, look at Everton's next fixtures. Aston Villa, Leicester, Newcastle, Norwich. They are beautiful. Even United's got some decent fixtures. Leicester, Newcastle, Norwich, Liverpool. You know what? That -4 looks very, very tempting. It looks very, very tempting. I wonder if... Well, I'll do all this later on. There's no point in doing it on the stream. I don't want to be here all morning. There we have it, everybody. I think that's the end of the preview show. Like I said, I think the main importance is the fact that I want you guys to all be joining us tonight for, of course, for that. Me and Jason live tonight at 7 o'clock. We may be a bit earlier, but it doesn't really matter. 7 o'clock tonight, myself and Jason will be covering Gameweek 20. And hopefully we'll have a lot more fun tonight with what goes on. Hopefully mine and Jason's captains actually come through. I wonder if me and Jason will have different captains. Who knows? You will find out tonight at 7 o'clock. And all I can say is this: if you are completely brand new around here, enjoy the virtual FPL game and enjoy the content me and Jason are bringing you. You know the usual story, just simply hit the subscribe button. If you've enjoyed the video, just simply hit the like button. Other than that, everybody, have a good morning, and I will see you tonight at 7 o'clock, along with Jason. See you later, guys.